How you doing, everyone? My name is Jimin, and I want to make this 200th video to say I have a theory about Hello Neighbor 2. Now, I've noticed some things in Hello Neighbor 2 that are weird. I have a theory that Hello Neighbor 2 is actually a prequel to Hello Neighbor 1. Now, let me explain myself. The player model for the neighbors in Hello Neighbor 1 and 2 are very, very different. The first one in Hello Neighbor 1, he looks sane. He looks like he's well there in the head. He looks healthy. But the player model 2, he looks gray. Literally, if you look up a picture of Hello Neighbor 2 neighbor, he looked like he has a hint of gray on him, and he looks absolutely miserable. But that's not all of it. As you probably know, in Hello Neighbor 1, at the end, when you fight the darkness, you come across a kid who's playing with he's playing with toys, and that is actually the neighbor as a kid. Now, which other character is there? The reporter. And if you look at him and the neighbor in Hello Neighbor 1, they have a lot of similarities. They have the same like red hint on the end of their nose. They have the same brown mustache. They're built the same. And they have the eyebrow shape. And what I mean by they're built the same is they have skinny legs, a wide torso, and just normal looking arms. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, they may have similarities, but they're just designed that way. That's how they designed them. Which is true, but it goes deeper than that. If you finish Hello Neighbor 2, you know that the neighbor gets trapped underneath a giant crow, as you probably saw in my videos. And there's a kid that comes up and can't help him, so he sits next to him, hugs him, and cries. And we all know that in Hello Neighbor 2, the kid is the neighbor's son. Now I think that the reporter took the son at the end of after getting knocked out and moved away. His driving isn't good either because he crashes into a barn in the beginning. And is there any other car crash that happened that in the game that I don't know, maybe a red car on a fence near the neighbor's house? Yeah, they have very similar driving. Now you're probably wondering what happened to the daughter, though, and how the daughter ties into this. Now the daughter was pushed off the roof of the whatever building, yes, but it was a neighbor in Hello Neighbor 2 that was watching his kids, because those are his kids, obviously. And if you played both games, you would realize that the neighbor in Hello Neighbor 1 has a lot more technical things in Hello Neighbor 1 than he does in 2. And that's because I think that the reporter, which I think is the neighbor in Hello Neighbor 1, took inspiration from Hello Neighbor 2 and just added on to stuff. And there are a lot of similarities, like the key in the ice block, that was with the bakery. The bear rug, like the taxidermist has or is making. And there's even a doll in the upstairs part that is like the doll that the cop had when you had to like place the dolls on the house and all that stuff. And there was also a lot where the kid was trapped in the basement. It's a lot like when he was trapped in the attic. And what I mean by that is he was isolated, there was a bed, and he was feeding him, and there was a secret way to get in and out. The secret way to get in and out was, you had to put, in Hello Neighbor 2, you had to put heads on statues and a thing would drop down from the attic, put in a keypad, and go in. And in Hello Neighbor 1, you had to unlock a door, go down, and go through a washing machine. Also, at the beginning of Hello Neighbor 1, you can hear a kid screaming. But why would the kid be screaming? It's because in Hello Neighbor 1, that isn't his real dad, it's the reporter. Because we obviously know that in Hello Neighbor 2, the kid's dad is the neighbor. Also, he locked him in the basement because he knows how easy it is for the kid, because the kid was in the attic. He knows how easy it is for the kid to get out of the attic. Also, I'm sorry if I'm looking off to the side. I have a script over here that I made, or kind of a script, just like bullet points. But he was always haunted by his past. Not helping the neighbor, giving everyone a rough time, and trying to expose the neighbor and every one of his peers. You can even see the reporter trying to get the kid out of the house after the neighbor was crushed. He's like, "Come on, come on," and I think that the neighbor in Hello Neighbor 2 actually died. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, I guess that makes sense, but why does he cry and put up missing posters in Hello Neighbor 1? That's because he does that so no one suspects him. And he cries because he knows what happened and what he did. He let the neighbor die, he was accusing everyone, and he took the neighbor's son away from him. At the end of Hello Neighbor 1, in the house, you see 2 rooms, and in one room there's the neighbor, and in the other room there's the darkness. He's trapped, and the darkness is all that's left. And he sits down and cries because he knows he can't go back and change his past. He can't give the kid back, he can't help the neighbor anymore, he can't ask for help because of all the people he exposed, and he has to accept his fate. That is why I came to the theory of how Hello Neighbor 2 is a prequel. With all the evidence I gave, and since I played and beat both games, I have come to the conclusion that Hello Neighbor 2 is a prequel. You can believe me if you want, you cannot believe me if you want. But I highly recommend you play both games and then say your thoughts, or even tell me your thoughts and questions that you might have about my theory. So that's how I came to the conclusion that the reporter in Hello Neighbor 2 is the neighbor in Hello Neighbor 1. Now, in the comments, I want you guys to tell me if you think I'm wrong or you think I'm right, or any other comments or questions that you might have about this theory. I just want to make this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, hit that like button. Really helps the channel. Subscribe and also share with your friends. And I'll see you all next time. Hedo.